Hello everyone, this is Foxcat, and as you guys may have noticed, it is April. Well, not really, and obviously we know I'm premiering this video, and I probably am going to leave that thing up there just to be honest, but since it's now April 1st, and no, this ain't a April Fool's joke video, I wanted to talk about something that's very, very, very important. Autism Awareness Month. Now, I kind of talked about this a couple of while back, I think last year, but I do want to talk about what is autism, why is this so important, and why is all this very relative? Because I bet you a lot of people do not know what autism is. Okay, so autism is a neurological disorder that affects the brain, and whatever. And it's pretty much, as you guys probably know by now, if you have subscribed to me, I act very differently like most other normal people. And in autistic people's most noble trait is they have literally the problem to socialize. It's a little bit of a social disorder as well because it has a problem of them socializing in a very unique way. Now, autism is actually on a spectrum. Where I fall on is hyperactive. I have hyperactive autism. However, there's multiple types of autism which is on a spectrum, which is technically gets a scale to be exact. Like Asperger's, forgot the rest. Jokingly speaking, I'm not, but really I forgot. But it is on a spectrum. In fact, I'll send a link down below for more on autism, and of course, blah blah blah, all that. However, what causes autism? Okay, there's been a lot of debate of that. Me personally, I don't really care. And as for the real answer, I don't care. Like, really, there's no answer yet. They're still testing for that. But I will say, it's not caused by needles. If you know what I mean from that stupid pity. Because it really is stupid to think that. No offense, I'm not trying to put political, I'm just saying for real. What is the effects of autism? Now this one is very interesting, and you already probably noticed one of them because I'm trying my hardest to stay focused right there, but really it's even harder because I don't even know where I think the camera's right there, but whatever. The problem with autism, as you may notice, however, well, actually before we do get over that, I need to go over something very serious. Autism affects people very differently. That's why it's on the spectrum, and the reason why is pretty stupid obvious, being that we're all different people. We have different mindsets, which I'm still surprised no one understands that concept. The reason why I'm pointing this out is because a lot of people will point out stereotypes for autism. And let me just be clear. Every autistic person is extremely different, believe me. Or rather, not just that, but every mental challenged person is very different. So get the whole Family Guy jokes out your fucking head, and let's get this clear. Autism, the effects are really interesting. As the first effect, as you may notice, we have a tendency to have a hard time even communicating to one person. Me, despite me being high functional, I can't even barely stare at the freaking camera, for Christ's sake. I have to look around. And this is actually the reason why, if you guys always wondered why I always post my videos on the window, is because it's probably best for me to look at the freaking trees while I talk. That's somehow helpful, I guess. I mean, at least it gives you a beautiful scenery. Another thing you may notice, I stutter a lot. And I mean a lot. Like, again, I don't write my things down that often, and I just go with the flow on what I can remember. Kind of whole deal, but I do stutter a lot, as you see. Another thing, so here's some other traits of autism that I have and some that I don't have. One thing, repetitive motions. Like, for me, if you guys obviously know, because jokingly speaking, I keep accidentally doing this, which why I'm glad that I have my system in place. I tend to rock a lot. Like, let me show you. This is how I literally, rock. And I'll do this for a while. And each one is very different. Like, one could like flicker lights a lot, one would like to snap a lot. And it's very interesting. Another thing is organization. We like to have things in a very weird, organized thing. Now, mine is more normal, but I bet you $5 there's another person with autism that has his thing very differently. Which is fine, but it's only, it's not a problem. Heck, I won't blame him. And funny enough, we always keep the thing very normal. Like every day, if you guys notice, I have a bunch of stuffed animals. If you guys noticed from previous videos, if you pay close attention, I always, somewhat 95%, keep my stuffed animals in the exact same place. I'm still working on it. Oops, there goes Freddy. But he's still slander. And pretty much the thing is, we always like to keep things in order. And it can be tough sometimes because, especially in my job, like you guys recall, I work as a supply chain distributioner, meaning I blah 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 and all that. Every time I put up boxes, the ladies who I work with, who are kind, just go in there, especially when I'm actually putting up, is blah blah and take them out. And while that's a little bit annoying, I just bear through it because there's no other problem. That's why I'm not too mad at them. Another thing worth noting is some autistic people tend to hurt themselves in not like in suicidal way, just for some reason weird way. Like I don't do that, but probably there are some that does that. Again, I'll send a Wikipedia page down. I don't know if that's still a thing, but that's what I got. One other big thing that many people obviously tend to notice, autistic people have a sort of ignorance. Like they can only focus on one major subject, and obviously you guys probably know what my subject is. If you just frickin' look at the flippin' wall and stuff and you've seen what my even my freaking channel poster, or whatever you call that, like not my icon, but the poster behind it, is a freaking Pikachu. So you know good and well that I love Pokemon. And I love other things as well, but most importantly, I'm a huge Pokemon fan. And it's more personal to me than anything before. But some other people would like, for the obvious example, because many people for some strange reason, stereotype this, love trains. For some reason. Or maybe an autistic girl, yes, there are autistic girls, which I'll detail that later, is, love My Little Pony so much, or Barbie, or somewhat. And it can't just be a fun thing too. Some people are very good. And that's not a bad thing. At least you got a hobby, that's my opinion. Heck, my choices doesn't matter to you. If you guys does not like Pokemon, that's super fine. Heck, I'm an old breeder. I like every single monster series. Like, I have freaking Yu-Gi-Oh cards, for Christ's sake. Like, hold on, let me... Like, obviously, if you guys recall, I have these, so, yeah. I'm not just saying. I might have to put a copyright thing on here just in case, but, probably wouldn't mind because this is more of a lesson, pretty much. I don't know how this is going to work, but whatever. Anyways, what else about autism? Well, who is it affects? So the affection of autism is very weird. It happens to mostly guys, but girls can get it too. So yeah, it's pretty much a sexist thing as well, because most people will think autism people are male, which is not 100% true. It's both male and female. Yes, there is a little bit of difference there, but Um, and how do you know if you have autism? Well, usually you gotta go through a psychological testing. Meaning you gotta go see a therapist and he'll do all the testing. Also, there's an added thing. I think I mentioned this before, but I don't know if this counts. Pretty much, they also test for your blood because some autistic people, or most people, but I don't know if this is correct or not, because I know I got blood tested before. If you have a lot of iron in your blood, that means you possibly have autism or on the spectrum. Now, I don't know how that even connects to it, but that's a real thing. That's how they figure out truly how I'm autistic. Oh boy, I hated those times. Literally, I got stuck with needles. But it was a good thing, because at least it showed what problem I had. Is how bad for a parent to deal with autism. Now, this one, I do got heavy point out, it's not that terrible. Unless you really are a parent who, like, really does not like her kids, because because I've seen some very effed up stories. But for example, for me, my parents handle me, both my foster parents and my biological mother, handle me fine. It's not a big deal. Yes, I will say it is costly. How much? I bet $1 million. I'm saying that sarcastically because I forgot the number, but it really does cost a lot, like sarcastically that much. But it's for the best. It's not like it's a human being. Is there a cure for autism? Okay, so this one I really do need to talk about. There is no cure for autism. There really isn't. I mean, really, to go one step further, there's not a freaking cure for mental illness. And even there was, I would never take it. Now, some people in a situation like that will. But for me, I would never take it because I love my disability. It's who I am, and it's not like a crutch or something, but it still makes part of me. That's kind of a real thing. I know that's wonky of a message, but it's true. Even though, yes, do not use your disability as a crutch. Because, holy heck, I see a lot of jokes of that. But really, the reason why I point this out is, which leads into the next thing, is, can you trust Autism Speaks? No. Like, Autism Speaks is a very interesting subject. Because I know it was going to be talked soon well or not. Autism Speaks does, like, it's really bad. Like, I can't even explain to it. Like, I'll send a link down below of Illuminate's video on that. I highly recommend it. But a long story short, no. Do not trust them. They think you can cure autism, which is stupid. And the way they handle it is very dumb. And by the way, you cannot cure autism through bleach. Believe me, do not do that. We all know why. Oh boy. And really, there's no cure for autism. And to this day, I still don't understand why the fuck there is people think that. But it's just true. And, you know, having autism is not bad. As for media portrayal of autism, yeah, there's a lot of things we need to talk about. Like, it has gotten better. I mean, as for now, media portrays of most things have gotten better, at least. Like, you know, the LBGQT and, of course, you know, races and all that. As for mental health, that is a different story. Now, I'm not saying there's anything bad, because I've seen some good portrayals of autism. Yes, there's also most of them that, like I jokingly said, like Family Guy, who makes fun of them, and some of them are just effed up. Like, if you guys heard of the movie Rain Man, I have never seen Rain Man, and I think it's a good movie, even though I haven't seen it, which is why I probably should watch it, but I heard it is somewhat of a good movie from my foster parents. The only issue is, it pretty much stereotypes us as we're smart enough to do freaking poker, and I don't even know how the fuck to do that, or was it hold up? I don't know. Think we're gonna make millions in casinos. Like, that's a problem. The problem is, media should be very much careful of how they portray autistic people in mental health. Which, I'm not saying they don't do that, because believe it or not, that is an issue, and I will blame them because it really is tough. I mean, like I said, autism on the spectrum, and also trying to pin down freaking mental health and disabilities without offending people is definitely a tough challenge, believe me, and I understand why, because it's a thing. But, it's just something that needs to be done. Anyways, long story short, that's technically what this video is about, and, my advice for you guys, if you know someone that's autistic, just, be kind to him. I mean, for me, as I stated in a previous video, I think I never stated this, but I barely had any friends at high school because they thought I was weird. Even in a special flippin' needs class, which, that's actually saying something. Oh boy, don't I have stories about that? But, it happens. But as you can see, I'm actually a success. Well, not really on YouTube, but in real life, yeah, I'm at my own house and everything. So there's no, my point is, for every parent who probably sees this, which I bet they're probably not, there is hope for your child. Just keep it. Plus also, that's your child. Do not throw him like trash in a dumpster. Trust me. I never have been, but I heard stories like that. Yeah, boy. Yeah. But yeah, this has been Fluxcat, snapping out of here. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.